I don't need to listen to someone like you. The sentence cut through the boardroom like glass. Not loud, not emotional, just cold and final. Conversations died instantly. Pens stopped. Coffee cups froze in midair. 40 floors above Manhattan, with the city stretching beyond the windows, every eye turned toward the same place. Lauren Whitmore sat at the head of the table. Senior Vice President, blonde, flawless, composed in a tailored blazer that matched her authority. She had stood to welcome the participants and offered her hand out of protocol. But the moment the man across from her reached for it, she hesitated and pulled back, brushing her palm against her jacket as if contact itself offended her. Her smile followed, polite, sharp, superior. Across from her stood Malcolm Reed, black, calm, quietly dignified. His suit was old but carefully pressed. His shoes were polished. His tie was simple. Nothing about him looked powerful in the way this room defined power. He kept his hand extended 1 second longer than pride allowed, then slowly lowered it. Seconds later, no one could say a word. The silence was heavy, almost physical. Malcolm adjusted the slim folder against his chest and waited. Lauren sat back down. "Let's not waste time," she said. "This is a strategic meeting. We're here to make decisions." Malcolm spoke evenly. "There is a legal issue in the acquisition structure. If the current version moves forward..." She lifted her hand without even looking at him. "No, I don't need to listen to someone like you." A quiet shock moved across the table. A woman covered her mouth. A man shifted in his seat. No one defended him. No one challenged her. Fear was louder than justice. "I want numbers, not opinions," Lauren continued. "Next slide." Malcolm said nothing. He sat, placed his folder on the table, and watched. Lauren controlled the room with confidence. She interrupted, mocked hesitation, dismissed questions. Every word reinforced the power she believed she owned. "This contract will be signed today," she said, "with or without agreement." Malcolm lifted his eyes. "Are you certain?" Lauren smiled. "Absolutely." He closed his folder and pushed his chair back. The sound echoed sharply. "Then you might want to listen." Before she could answer, the door opened. An older man entered with an assistant. Calm, discreet, authority without display. Several executives stood automatically. "Apologies for the delay," he said. Lauren frowned. "And you are?" "Charles Mercer," he replied. "I represent Mercer Lane Capital. We're acquiring majority control of this project." A murmur filled the room. Real this time. Lauren's posture changed instantly. "Perfect. We were just finalizing..." Charles placed his folder on the table. "Before that, I need to clarify something." He gestured toward Malcolm. "The final decision does not go through me." The room stopped breathing. "In fact," he continued, "it goes through him." Silence fell like a curtain. Lauren blinked. "I'm sorry?" "Malcolm Reed is the legal authority and final signatory for our investment," Charles said calmly. "Without his approval, there is no contract." Lauren stood too fast. "There must be a misunderstanding," she said. "Malcolm, if I offended you..." He looked at her without anger, without satisfaction, only clarity. She extended her hand again. This time, it trembled. Malcolm watched it for a second. Then he shook it, briefly and firmly. "There was no misunderstanding," he said. "There was a choice." He turned to the room. "My decision is clear. And it's not about numbers or timelines. It's about behavior." Lauren tried to speak, but nothing came out. Malcolm continued. "I could have reacted when I was dismissed. I could have demanded respect. Instead, I observed. Because the way someone treats another person when they believe they hold power reveals exactly who they are. A senior director nodded slowly. He's right. That was unacceptable. Another added, this isn't the first time. Charles took out his phone and placed it on speaker. Human resources. I need HR on the line immediately. A pause. Yes, we're in the Mercer Lane acquisition meeting. We witnessed serious misconduct by Senior VP Lauren Whitmore. I'm requesting immediate administrative leave pending investigation. The response came clear. Understood. Leave will be applied immediately. Lauren's face drained of color. No one celebrated. No one applauded. The room stayed silent. Malcolm closed his folder. The mistake wasn't refusing to hear me, he said. The mistake was believing respect depends on status, appearance, or skin color. He looked around the table. Anyone who decides who deserves respect eventually learns the cost. Lauren lowered her eyes. For the first time, there was no arrogance left. The meeting ended without announcement. Chairs moved quietly. People left in silence. Lauren was escorted out, not as a powerful executive, but as someone who had just lost the position she used to dominate others. Malcolm walked out as he had entered, calm, whole, unshaken. Because in the end, the greatest humiliation isn't being exposed. It's realizing too late that you disrespected the wrong person. Respect is not a favor. It is not optional. It is the minimum.